So we are only a few short days away from Chris's next court hearing, and it's honestly the one that I think is going to be his final one. If you're wondering why, just stay tuned to the video because I'll explain it. But it's wild that it's been since the beginning of February. It's been almost 5 months since Chris has gone before a judge, and we can see what happened last time when he found out how long it was going to be. Chris had a freak out in jail again. They sent him to a mental hospital where, Chris's own words, they had to teach him courtroom etiquette and shit like that. You know, they had to teach him how to react in a courtroom setting because he doesn't know how to. Chris only knows how to demand what he wants, and he expects to get what he wants every time. And when he's in a courtroom and somewhere he doesn't have full control in, he just spurgs the fuck out. He did it when he first saw a judge, and he apparently did it when it was when he found out he was going to have to wait 5 months to see another judge. And but here we are. The months have moved pretty goddamn fast. You know, it was the beginning of February we found that out, and here we are at the end of July. We're almost 1 year into this shit. 1 year into Chris's jail stint. It was July 30th of last year that the call got leaked with him and Bella where Chris admitted doing all the creepy shit to Barb, and man, time fucking flies. Because like I said, I've been making these videos now for a year. I can't believe this shit's going so fast. But here we are, and I want to discuss a little bit with y'all what I think's going to happen, and my opinions kind of come from all of y'all in the comment section letting me know what's up, people who know more about law than me, so I think that's what we're going to jump into. Now, I know all you are waiting, thinking, well, what's going to happen, and I think the most popular opinion right now, and the one that I'm going to stick to as well, is that Chris is going to get time served, meaning that they're going to look at it and say, look, the guy's already been here for a year, and they're just going to let him the fuck out. Why are they going to do that? Honestly, I can't tell you why. All I know is that from Chris's letters he's writing, that his lawyer told him that, oh, you know, Barb can't be a witness, she's too fucking old, even though she's the victim. Chris is firmly in the camp that he's getting out of there. However, he's firmly been in that camp since day one of going in there. So you can't take his word on it. You should never be listening to Chris's own shit. But if the lawyer is telling Chris that Barb isn't a witness and that's not gonna work, then Chris most likely will get out. And I've been saying this for fucking months. I don't believe Chris should be getting out of jail. He is not in the right state of mind to be getting out of there. In these letters, all Chris has been talking about is wanting to get back to the Sonichu temple and just go back to doing what he was doing. And in more recent letters, he's come out and said, well, no, he never did anything with Barb anyway. You know, the soul bonding shit that was originally him and Barb, doing all this weird sex act shit. And Chris even admitted that he bought a book on how to pleasure the elderly. Chris was all about this. But now, ever since that stint in the mental hospital, Chris is seemingly trying to back all that shit up, saying that no, he never meant that. When he talked about, all this weird shit, all he was talking about was holding hands with Barbara and cuddling. And, it's a real far cry from what Chris was initially saying when he was firmly I'm going to do what I want to do, and I'm getting out of here and going back to the Sonichu Temple to do what I did. Now, do I think he's a little more, do I think he's in a better mindset now or in a better headspace? Absolutely not. I think he's just trying to say all this shit in the letters to try to basically throw off the scent that, I never meant that, and once I get out, I won't do it again because I never did it in the first place, even though I admitted I did a lot of it. But what's the courtroom going to say about this? I don't fucking know. I can't imagine that they won't look at this dude and just see that he's a fucking lunatic. But at the same time, they could just say, he spent his time here and they might not want to deal with him anymore. I don't know what's going to happen here. Of course, he could also go to trial. And if he goes to trial, that would be very interesting because we'd find a lot more out about this than we will if he just gets let off. But I have a very scared feeling, a very sneaking suspicion that they are just going to let Chris walk one of these next couple days. And I hope to God I'm wrong, but like I said, from a lot of y'all's input and from the input I've seen around, the Kiwi farms and different websites, it does seem like that's going to be the case for Chris, but we'll have to see it when it happens. It is wild though that Chris has been in there for a whole year now. That's one thing I can't really wrap my head around because time has just gone so fast. But I really do think it's a dumb idea for them to just let Chris walk if that's what they do. And the reason they would do it, if you're wondering, is because if the lawyer's telling the truth and they don't see Barb as a reliable witness, well then who the fuck else is a witness? And what are they going to do? I don't, like I said, I'll be honest with you. If you're watching this video, if you've ever seen any of my videos before, I'm not very smart when it comes to the law shit. However, a lot of you guys do ask me what's going on with Chris, so I don't want to leave you in the dark here. But we'll see a lot more of this and we'll know a lot more of this when July 28th comes around, because that's the day of Chris's hearing. And we'll find out what happens, and I'll have a video made for y'all, so don't worry about that. But that's what we got to look into now. And there's one other thing that I wanted to bring up that happened last week while I wasn't around. And I'll actually get to that at the end of the video, why I've kind of been so absent recently. But Kangol, Helena, the people who write Chris, them two, are apparently setting up, I don't know if it's like a website, some type of shit for Chris, and they are calling it the quote-unquote Sonichu Base. Now, the Sonichu Base seems really similar to the Sonichu Temple, which is, they're just going to call anything a Sonichu whatever because it'll pique Chris's interest. And it's clear that they're trying to do this to just get Chris's attention, because that's what they desperately want. Kangol has said before, oh, he's not going to write Chris anymore, and then he goes back and just does it. Kangol says, oh, I'm not going to respect his wishes and keep all these letters under wraps, and then he does it. So the thing is, then Kangol wants to use Chris to try to get views on his own website, which is kind of like a knockoff Kiwi Farms, and Helena wants to use Chris to try to get eyes on her own artwork, which is just kind of, seems like Chris's artwork, but with her own touch on it. So when I see this shit that they're making a quote-unquote Sonichu Base, this is what I've been talking about for months, that once Chris gets out, a bunch of people are going to try to use him for different things, and this is the first step to that. They're probably going to try to get Chris's own website set up where they can use it, or whatever the fuck. I don't know what they're planning here. I really don't know what they're planning. At first, when I heard this, I thought they were literally going to buy Chris a house and call it the Sonichu Base, and that I couldn't wrap my head around. I'm like, these people can't afford a fucking house for Chris. But no, it seems like it's like a website maybe where Chris can sell his artwork, something like that. But it's just like, like I said, we've talked about this. We know when Chris gets out of jail, inevitably, there were going to be weens who are going to be there to take him in and do whatever the fuck Chris wanted them to do. And it's lame to see that, because remember what type of person this is. Chris is a guy who's in jail right now for fucking his own, like, dementia-ridden mother. And there are still people out there trying to help him out. I never kind of understand the world. But, when I see this, it just kind of makes me lose a little bit of faith in it. So, I don't know what to say. It's just weird that, like I said, when you see this stuff, I said everyone called it. It wasn't just me. Everyone had talked about how when Chris was going to get out, weens were going to literally do whatever they could to try to get Chris's attention. But I think this is only the first step in that. Not for Kangol and Helena, because Kangol, I don't know what Kangol's whole deal is. He just seems to want to, like I said, get views on his own website. Helena doesn't even live in this country, but I do think this is like the first step of people trying to help Chris. I do still think there are going to be some weens with deeper pockets that are willing to put Chris up in their own house. And that's been my speculation for months now. And the only thing I can say about all this going on is the same thing I've been saying. Guys, once Chris gets out, don't try to interact with him. Don't try to help him. Right now with Chris being in jail with the letters and all, I've said, don't write Chris. Don't get involved with Chris. You want to talk about Chris on a website? You want to laugh about him and shit? Go ahead, do all that. But, like, don't be a fool and try to interact with this man, because he's not, like I said, he's not the type of person you want to be, like, around. It's just, Chris is not, I don't get it. I don't get wanting to interact with Chris in person. I never will, and I don't really, I don't know, but I'll let Kangol do his thing. We'll let Helena do their thing. I just don't fucking know. But another important thing to bring up is that this was brought up to Chris, and maybe Chris wanted this in some type of letter that Kangol showed that he had. But of course, this was a letter that they said, we can't release this because Chris doesn't want this released. So, it's another one of these things where everyone's just sucking Chris's dick. And, yeah, we'll see what happens. We will see what happens, because once Chris gets out, there's still going to be people trying to fucking do whatever they can to get in his good graces, and it's just really weird to see. But, like I said, when Chris's court date eventually does come in a few days, you guys know I got y'all on the content for it, and we'll be talking about what happens. But if today's video seemed a bit shitty, I can see that right from me making it. The thing is, ladies and gentlemen, one thing that a lot of you guys love and one thing that a lot of you guys hate about my content is how much I'll talk about pot. and how much I'll talk about weed and how much I love smoking and shit. Well, sadly, it doesn't look like I'm going to be able to even do that anymore because of some health issues that just arose. So my head's kind of still in a cloud right now, but I'm telling you guys, I'm feeling a little bit better. But you know, I'll never tell anyone not to be smoking their bud. I still love that shit. But this is one of my first videos I've made in a while where I don't have the luxury of pot here to make me kind of look at Chris's antics and laugh about him, where now I'm just kind of sitting here and going like, this is just a fucking mess. But yeah, we're gonna get into a loop where I can actually do this shit sober and be much more coherent in my videos. But hopefully when a lot of this shit passes over and I can be able to get some edibles and still get fried for y'all, we're gonna have some fun, laid back fried content like we always do. And yeah. So don't worry, everything's going to be going cool, but I got y'all on whatever content you guys want to see. And next, you know, we're talking about Chris now, but I think we're going to talk more about Cyrax as the days go on. And then we'll go back to talking about Chris once the hearing comes up. So I got y'all on all the content you could want. Hopefully I'm going to be able to get back at it more often than I have been over the past week. But yeah. You know, there's not much for me to say here other than just to remind y'all, yeah, the court hearing is coming up, and there's still a bunch of wacky shit going on in Chris's world. The other thing, the last thing I probably should have brought up in the beginning was that letter that Kengel's not releasing is most likely, if Chris does get out, that's the last jail letter. And obviously, if you've ever watched my channel before, that's something we've covered in depth here, mostly all of Chris's jail letters. So it's kind of, you know, it's kind of an end of an era here, but I'm very happy to kind of see it go because, you know, at the same time I can't get fried is the same time the jail letters stop. It's going to make it a lot more easy for me because you cannot read those fucking letters and not get high. I'm telling you guys that shit because those letters are such like garble. It's just, they're not entertaining unless you're stoned off your ass. So, you know, once more of this shit does happen, like I said, I got y'all on it, and I hope you enjoyed the background footage, which is nowadays Chris fighting the former days Chris. Chris just hit the other Chris with a Sonichu's edge, and I think that's gonna be the end of it here. So I hope y'all enjoyed the video today, and I'll catch you on the next one. But first, I want to give a shout out to Worman Bjornson, Sky, Club Doom, Your Mom, Krabby, Cody Hale, the Ghostbusters fan, Scally Schisms, Ecto Spectre, Mick Surly, and Liz Vender. You guys are all goats, and all of you who got this far into this fucking this mess of a video, I hope you guys have a great day too. And you know, it's the middle of the weekend. You guys got another day to relax, and I hope you can kick back and just have a nice peaceful day. Call up your boys, call up your homegirls, just call up whoever, go out tonight and just have a nice fucking night. Now, it is hot everywhere. I don't think there's one place on this earth right now that is not hot. So I would stay indoors, maybe go to a bar. If you're at the beach, you know, go take a dip in the water, but just keep cool, my friends, because I think right now everyone's got to be hot as hell right now. So I'll catch you on the next one, and take care, guys. Stay safe.